On Careers. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, and we are here with a man who's on a mission. He's building the world's tallest office tower. He's built the the Emirates' largest free zone. I think on almost every trading metric, he's delivered over 1,000% growth over the last decade. I think we're up over $75 billion in gold trade. I think back in 2000 we were at about $10 billion. So that's a huge growth. His name is Ahmed Bin Sulayem. He's the chairman of DMCC. Ahmed, welcome to Ion Careers.
Thank you. I'd like to add to that, none of this would happen if it wasn't for the consistent confidence from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, and I'm happy to have kept at it, and despite all attempts from negativity or whatever, whether it's local, regional, international, it didn't faze us. It just made us feed more and want to excel more in this business.
And as you excelled, your team grew as well, right? I mean, when you started out, how big was the team, and how big is the team now?
No, we've been constant. When we started, we were about 5 or 6 employees, and then we started registering with like 50 companies. When we sold out Al-Masra, we were about 400 companies. You're talking about an entity that's over 7,700 companies and growing. We might reach 8,000 before the end of the year or cross that. Mind you, 94% are new businesses to this country, and the retention is above 95% of these companies that have moved in. So once they're there, they're hooked with DMCC because they do not get a faster, better service than the Dubai Multi-Commodity Center.
Right, so registering your business in DMCC gives you a 95% chance your business will succeed.
No, they stay, they stay. I mean, the ones that don't succeed, it depends on how they run things. But at the end of the day, we go after multinational companies, even medium companies, and we're going to be very bullish on startups. We're going to find a way of bringing in startups and small and medium enterprise as well.
All right, so I get a deal on joining DMCC. Is that what you're saying?
You look pretty big to me from here. You're sitting on a podium like Captain Kirk right now. You cannot be a small company like that.
So, with this kind of growth, you would have had to, you're hiring people. And a lot of people out there, they're looking, for that next job or going for that next position. They get the interview and they don't get the job. What would you say are your biggest pet peeves in an interview where someone comes in, you're thinking, wow, this could be the guy, and then they open up their mouth and everything just goes out the window?
Actually, sometimes before I meet the candidate, just seeing and looking at their CV, I get an idea of who they are and what they are. And if they've been jumping from one business to the other less than a year and a half, that means they don't see matches through, because it takes about 6 months for them to adapt to the environment. Not everyone clicks in within 2 or 3 days. And if I see that, I'm not interested. But it depends on what role that person, he or she, will be playing. But when I do interview them, the first pet peeve would be honesty, and if what they're saying doesn't add up and they're contradicting themselves, it's over. But we'll go through the 20 minutes of talk just for the formality of it. The other thing would be if they're bashing their old environment too much. If they're bashing it a lot, I mean, if they're bashing, that means that's what they're going to say about this environment. Maybe they're exaggerating, maybe they're not, but there needs to be respect, mutual respect with the other business, so that the attitude plays a big role. I think attitude trumps everything else, trumps the academic of that person, even experience. If they come with so much experience and so much academic and everything is fit in place, but they do not believe in this project, or they come with a snobbish way of approaching the business, forget it. I don't care if they're coming for free as well.
Yeah, it's such a big difference. So many people come in and they just leave you flat. They're not excited. I always say, if you can't get excited about your career, how am I supposed to? How would I be excited about it? But right now, we have a man who has a very exciting career, Mr. Jeffrey Rhodes, Managing Director for Financial Institution Groups for Kalati. He spent the last 35 years involved in the international precious metals market, working with major bullion banks and financial institutions all over the world. He's been prominent in the development of the DMCC, the Dubai Multi-Commodity Center, and has been a member of Dubai's Gold Advisory Group since its inception. He's a former chairman of the Public Affairs Committee of the London Bullion Market Association. Jeffrey, are you there?
I am, yes. Thanks for inviting me on, and good evening to you, and good evening, Ahmed. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, good evening. It's great to have you. So, what is your take? I mean, you're now, have your fingers in the international markets, the pulse of what's happening. I think gold, I believe, has dropped significantly over the last little while. What is that? What are you seeing? What's your take on what's going to happen over the next 12 months, 2014, thumbs up, thumbs down, and how's Dubai Expo going to play into that?
Well, look, I think in terms of what I expect for the market, 2014 I think could be a challenge actually, and certainly if you're bullish for gold, I think it's going to be a difficult year. We've seen 2013 was the end of the bull market that started back in 2001, and it looks as though that kind of weaker tone is going to persist into 2014. But of course, that's great for Dubai, because Dubai is very much the entrepot port for supplying gold into India, which is the world's largest gold consumer, and the wider subcontinent, and of course the GCC. So I think lower prices can only be good for gold as a redistribution center into those areas. And in terms of Dubai Expo 2020 and what it's going to do, look, I've been here 16 years, and I'm really a Dubai convert. I kind of, if I could get an Emirati citizenship, I'd love it. And I think Dubai is simply the best place in the world to live. It's certainly the best place in the world. You deserve one more than I do.
Sorry, what's that?
You deserve one more than I do.
Honestly, I so much believe in it, and the fact is, I've built two big businesses in Dubai in those 16 years, and I think anywhere else in the world it'd be very difficult to do it. But two businesses that both achieve turnover of $30 billion a year, from scratch, really.
Wow.
At Standard Bank. I set up Standard Bank here back in February '97. I came with a briefcase, nothing else. And Standard Bank today, I'm proud to say, is probably the kind of leading bullion bank in the Middle East. And INTO SC Stone, which is a company I formed in the DMCC about 8 years ago. That in itself is also, I got a business that turns over $30 billion. So I'm proud to have been involved in that. And, I think the outlook for Dubai is just onwards and upwards. And I think 2020 is only going to bring so many people to Dubai, and they're going to come and see and believe, frankly. And I think the outlook here for Dubai is as good as anywhere else in the world.
Well, I think one of the big themes we're seeing across, when we had the CFO of Union Properties, Murtaza Cheval, on earlier, and then talking also with Ahmed about what it takes to be successful. What does it actually take to show up in a town with nothing but a shirt on your back and a briefcase in your hand and build $1 billion business? And belief and focus have been two themes. In fact, Ahmed would even believe that you should fire someone right away if they don't believe in the dream. Maybe I'm making it a bit extreme, Kate.
No, I just said that within like a few months or a few weeks, they just find themselves somewhere else. That's all.
So what do you see, Jeffrey, as really what are the key traits? What's the difference between the guy who shows up with a briefcase and makes builds $1 billion business, and the guy who just ends up not building that much, I guess we could say?
Well, you have to have a tremendous amount of self-motivation and self-belief, because, when you've got a company of one, you've got yourself to answer to. And I think you really do have to have that self-belief and motivation. And self-motivation, you have to be driven. But you have to have a vision. And I think I really believe in 5-year business plans, and I always think the best way to approach that 5-year business plan is to write down the end number, the number that you want to be making in terms of bottom line after 5 years, and work backwards. Because whatever you write in a business plan, it will always change. There will be things that go wrong. There'll be, changing circumstances. But you don't go through it. You go around the problems and you find solutions along the way. but you remain very focused on what you want to achieve. You want, so you keep your eye on the ball, you keep your eye on the road ahead, and also you kind of, when you're running a business that gets bigger, you have to treat it like a Ferrari, very light touch on the steering wheel. You don't want to be just yanking the wheel this way and that way, and, you're going to end up with problems. But stay focused on the road ahead. Always remember what the end target's going to be, and just keep on doing what you're doing until you get there. And, fortunately for me, I've been able to do that twice in my time in Dubai, and I'm sure that the future is looking very bright.
Well, do you agree with all of that, Ahmed?
How can you not agree with the track record? The track record is right there, and I think that's why I told you you're going to like talking to Jeff, because he has a nice, beautiful story, and the track record is right there. He came in '97. That's 5 years before DMCC was established, and one thing led to another, and he's been big part of DMCC since inception. What me and Jeff are waiting for is the gold spot trading and having the UAE gold bullion coins with the image of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed, the president of UAE, and the Burj Khalifa on one side, and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and the Palm Jumeirah on one side, to be a legal tender. We're waiting and we're working with the central bank to get that done.
We're going to have to talk about that in a minute, because I'm just out of time here. But Jeffrey, thank you so much for making time this Thursday evening to chat with us and give us your insights on building $1 billion business from scratch.
Thank you very much. It's great to be on, and good luck to both of you.
Thanks a lot. Bye for now, Jeffrey.
Bye-bye.
That was Jeffrey Rhodes, Managing Director for Financial Institutions for Kolati.